Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Well, I want to find out. I've already done a reading on P. Diddy, so that will be down below. And I want to find out what the planets have in store for P. Diddy. Now, if you haven't seen this on my other channel or you're new here, I use the tarot cards to represent planets. High Priestess is Moon, the Magician is Mercury, the Empress is Venus, the Sun is the Sun. The Tower is Mars. The Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter. And the World, I got to cover those up, is Saturn. Now, this represents the stages of your life. So the moon is from 0 to 4, and that's when you reflect what people are teaching you. You learn by reflecting back to them, whether that's walking, eating, talking, learning a language of your mother, and this is when you're reflecting how to become a little human being. Then from about 5 to about 13, 14, you're in your Mercury, and this is when you're learning intellectually. So you learn first how to eat, and you go to the toilet, and you learn to walk and run and communicate by reflecting, by copying. But then you go on to you learn how to communicate, and your intellectual abilities start to grow. This is when you're in school. This is when you learn the basics of school. If you haven't learned the basics by the time you're 14, you're in for a heap of trouble as an adult. From 14 to 21, you're in your Venus time, and that's when, of course, ooh la la, look at teenagers. The teenager humpathon some people go through. And this is when you find your mate. This is when you have your first love, like true love, not puppy love or crush. This is, some people fall madly in love and never forget that love. That doesn't mean they're going to get married or not. Then from 22-ish to about 42-ish, you are in the sun. And this is when you're presented to the world as a complete human being. And this is when you make a name for yourself, and you're birthed into society, and you've done college, and you've got that degree. Or if you didn't go to college, you've got a few years of working under your belt. So you start to move up the ladder, as they say. And these are your very productive years. You have children during these years. You grow your assets. This is, a big time for you. Then when you hit your early 40s, you hit your Mars, early 40s to about 55, and this is the midlife crisis. This is when you would blow up your life. You leave your wife, you leave your husband, you quit your job, you realize that's, not the career for you. You sell everything, you go around the world. That's when this happens, during this Mars time. Now, after 55 to 67, you are in your Jupiter time. And this is when you're revered for your knowledge. If you've stayed in the same career, you're at the top of your career. This is your highest earning years that you have. Even if you blow up your career and change things around, somehow you're blessed by the universe, and this is the highest earning years that you have until 67. So I always like people who retire before 65. I'm like, what, are you kidding? You still have a couple of years of really good earning power. Wait till you're 68 and then retire. And then from 67 on, you are in your Saturn time, and you are in your Saturn time until you leave the Earth. And you think about the Saturn time, and about Saturn is cold and dark and stoic and stiff. Of the Earth rocks or Saturn, and you think that's when your body starts to stiffen up and break down and whatnot. And that's when karma can really hit you. If you didn't save up, save up for retirement, you've got a really not a very nice retirement ahead of you. But if you did everything right, and you put some money away and whatnot, looked after your health, then you can look for, Saturn will reward you with a nice retirement. Now, some of you already know that, and I'm sorry to bore you, but I have suddenly a real big influx of new followers. So that was mostly for them, or even just a reminder for you. So I'm going to ask, how does this appeal to P. Diddy? And you think about it. You think about him out in the sun. He was everywhere. He could do no wrong for all those years. And now he's 55 and he's at the end of his Mars time. And here comes the tower. And it's not just right now. It's been the last 4 or 5 years. Women are coming out of the woodwork and charging him with things, and things just started blowing up, blowing up, blowing up. And so I want to find out over here, what's his future going to be like? So let's start with the moon. What are his emotions like right now? What are his emotions going through right now? What are his emotions going through right now? What are his emotions going through right now? Oh boy. These need to be cleared. This is going to be a very significant reading. We got a clock banging away. Okay, the moon. The moon emotions. Oh, he is tightened right up. He's not expressing any emotions. He's not showing any emotions. That's actually pretty typical for a Scorpio. They will not let you know when they're hurt. They will not. So his emotions, he's bottled right up. He's not letting anybody know how he feels about this right now. How's his communication and his intellect under Mercury? So what's Mercury doing with... What can Mercury tell us about his communication and his intellect? The world, it's closed up too. We are not... Oh, there's that Queen of Swords. That's the contracts and whatnot. His communications and is closed right up. He is not going to talk. He is not. If he does, he knows that's the end of him. Okay, what about love, partnerships, romance? I don't think he's romantically involved with anybody right now, but what about partnerships? What about partnerships? What about partnerships? What about all the people who profess to being his friend? What about his partnerships? The Empress on the Empress. More women are coming to his aid right now. He's counting on the women in his life to come to his, not to his aid as much as he also wants them to shut up. Like, don't say anything. You don't know anything. If they're offering anything, you don't know anything. Just, yeah, we dated. He's really counting on the women in his life. I don't think he's counting on the men. I think he knows the men will turn him in. I think it was Tupac said something about him, and I did that reading, and yeah, P. Diddy was responsible for his death. You think 50 Cent has started to disparage him. Jay-Z is going to come in here right away. He's going to be a big player in this. I think he's going to be counting on the women to stand up for him or be on his side. All right, the sun, that's his pride. What's his pride looking like right now? 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 Interesting. He's like, look, all his awards. He's hoping that his awards, this is 9 of Cups upright. I always, when I'm talking about a celebrity, I think of these as all the awards that he's won. And he's pretty smug right now. Interesting, his pride is pretty smug right now. He thinks he's going to get a deal. He actually thinks he's going to get a deal, and he'll walk. He thinks that his reverence for his talent will win the day here. Okay, Mars. This is where he is right now. Also, this could be indicative of his time in the sun. He did win a lot of Grammy awards. There was a time that everyone wanted to work with Sean Combs or P. Diddy. He was pretty smug when he was in his sun time. Actually, he was really smug. And this Empress here on this part, he could have been like a real ladies' man. But there he is with all his awards, his pride. He's really proud of his accomplishments. Life turned out just the way he wished it to be. So let's see what Mars is aggression, people against you, forces that are against you, mostly aggression, fights. Let's see. Mars, what does Mars have to say about this situation? That's where he is right now. He's at the tail end of his Mars time. And everybody goes through these cycles. Look back on your own life. He's looking forward to the future. He's just being patient and letting this, he thinks this is going to just fly over. Yeah, he thinks that he's going to have this burden, so he's going to be marked for the rest of his life. But interesting, we don't have anything coming up about money here, but money's the next card. So I thought under the Tower, we might see something like losing a lot of money, losing face and whatnot. And no, he seems to think that this is going to blow over. But this will definitely be a burden that he has to carry for the rest of his life. But he's just being patient and letting this blow over. He thinks this aggression will go nowhere, which really plays into how much does he know about who, right? So that's under Wheel of Fortune. Now, this is his work and money. So under his luck, his work, his money, this is Jupiter. So this is what he'll be moving into very soon. So I think he's just waiting this out. Not that he thinks, I'm going to be in my Jupiter time really soon. I think he thinks that he can just wait this out. And let's just see. He's pretty smug right now. He's keeping his cards close to his chest. He's not saying a word. And maybe that's why the powers that be will grant him favor, because he isn't saying a word. Let's see, what does Jupiter have to say about this? What does Jupiter have to say about P. Diddy, Sean Combs? You know what? There's luck and money. Some of his money might be tied up for quite a while, and some of his, I think this is actually going to take him 7 years to get out of, but I think he thinks he's going to be okay. On Jupiter. Well, you want to get a Pentacles on Jupiter. Yeah, you know what? He's they aren't going to lock him up and throw away the key. They aren't. It might take 7 years. He might even be in prison for 7 years, or it might take 7 months to clean up. There's something here, but when Jupiter is on a positive looking card and just saying, wait it out, like here he is holding this wand here, there he is holding the wand there, I think because the Seven of Pentacles is actually in long-term investments. So, that's, building a house takes a while, and then you have a house and then it appreciates in value, etc. Or this is like buying one stock at a time, and before you know it, you have a portfolio. But this does take a long time. If you ever get the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, that means all your efforts are for naught. Things just die on the vine. There's no harvest. So he's waiting for a harvest of this. He could even have money hidden away that he knows he'll be being watched for a while. So this could be, for example, I know he wanted to sell one of his homes to grant bail, or he put up one of his homes to grant bail, and the judge said no. But he's just kind of waiting it out because this is luck and work and money. And I think in 7 years, anything, I think his money will be just fine again, and his luck. He's definitely working with other people right now. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. So what's Saturn? Saturn is burdens and karma. And Saturn comes into play after about 67. Now, the reason I'm giving you about is because planets don't wear watches. They don't follow the calendar. I want you to think of your planetary cycles as like a sunset or a sunrise. The sunset just doesn't go, it's day and then it's night. No, there's the twilight zone, the twilight time. And even in the morning, there's the morning, the dawn. And before the sun actually breaks out, it lightens up. So the same thing with the planets. There'll be some overlap, and one will be diminishing and one will be growing, and you have that little bit of an overlap. So that's why it's basic years, like 0 to 4 or 5-ish, 5-ish to 14-ish, right? It takes a while for one planet to step out and the other one to grow, but you're never without a planet. There's a little bit of overlap here. So let's see, what does Saturn have in store for P. Diddy? What does Saturn have in store for P. Diddy? What does Saturn have in store? So after age 68-ish. What does Saturn have in store for P. Diddy? What does Saturn have in store for P. Diddy? What does Saturn have in store? Oh, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. A tower moment. He's going to get his, and he's going to be quite embattled. Does that 55 plus 7 is 62-ish? He's going to get his tower moment then. So he's going to think that he's home free, and I think that's when he gets his tower moment. I wonder if he starts to get sued. He's definitely really embattled. So he might be thinking that everything is going to work out because of whatever blackmail he has on the powers that be. And he's thinking that everything is going to be fine. But when Saturn comes around, after he turns 68, I think he's going to be gone in some kind of car accident or something. He's actually got some really big karmic planets here. We got 3 major arcanas. And look at the Empress on the Empress. This could be all the young girls or boys. This could be when his, I want to say, sexuality went off the rails. Something happened maybe at that point. Maybe he couldn't get any girls. Yeah, I don't see him. After he turned 68, I think he's gonna be gone in an accident, or I'm gonna say non-natural means. Non-natural means. I'd be careful if I was him after I turned 68. Saturn's got some real big business waiting for him. Interesting, because right now he's in his Mars tower moment, and he's like, I can almost hear him whistling. This will pass, this too shall pass, and I'm not worried. I've got, I know who I've invested in who will help me out here. And when he's going to be embattled until that time. Is he in prison? I was expecting to see the devil, because that's being tied to something. I was expecting to see 3 of Swords, which is betrayal, which is like witnesses coming forward. I'm getting that he doesn't feel he's going to be in prison. Like, does that look like prison to you? Does that look like prison to you? Now the nine here could be a fence, could be a boundary. He might have a feeling that somebody might be after him. He might go into some kind of seclusion, a boundary, and really be watchful for people in his past. P. Diddy. Well, he won't get his for a while. So if you're thinking he's going to get his, I think there's things going on behind the scenes. He's just too smug right now. His pride is too smug. I just don't see him, like, even death would be transition from being a free man to in jail. Even Knight of Swords, the King of Swords, a judge comes down with a harsh sentence. The Hanged Man, that's also a prison sentence as well. You're stuck. You can't leave. We didn't get that. Depression, crying over spilt milk. Like, there's lots. The Hermit, being all alone and secluded. There's the Devil. Like, there's lots here he could have got. That even like the King of Swords, harsh. Four of Swords, again, you're out of commission. Like, there's lots here he could have had. The Ten of Swords, ruin. That would indicate some kind. Even Eight of Swords, in some respects, is you put yourself in jail by being stupid. There's lots here that could indicate a prison sentence. Being he doesn't even have high anxiety about this. There's the betrayal about somebody who he trusted is the witness against him. I I honestly don't think he's going to jail. None of those cards came out at all. At all. What else could have come out that would indicate a jail? Maybe Five of Pentacles, sued until he has no money. Maybe a decision hasn't been made. But no, I don't see that at all. He's not going to get his until he's older. So we got to wait 13 more years. All right. Well, what do you think of this reading? Do you think he's going to get jail time, or do you think he's going to be just be patient and he'll be out? Because he knows too many things about too many people in high places. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching. Sure appreciate you. Please take good care. See you online. Bye for now.